My Journey, your one-stop destination to the supernatural on Starr Radio UK. What's the hidden truth or mysteries behind the supernatural? Do angels exist? Is healing and miracles for today? Can I hear the voice of God? What's the secret to their success in ministry or calling? Can my eyes be open to see beyond the natural? Can I operate in the gifts of the Holy Spirit? My Journey is your one-stop destination to the supernatural on Starr Radio UK. Join your host, Captain Tete, at 4 p.m. on My Journey, your one-stop destination to the supernatural.
I was covered in sin and shame.
Hello listeners, my name is Ira Lucy. I invite you to join me on the Starr Personality Profile Show this and every Tuesday at 6 p.m. on Starr Radio UK, where I will be talking to experts in their different fields to find out why they do what they do and what makes them exceptional in their various careers. This show is Starr Personality Profile on Starr Radio UK. Remember, the time is 6 p.m. every Tuesday. Download the app from your app store or join me live on all our social media platforms.
The IWFT team presents Footprints on Starr Radio UK with your host Oscar Bimpong every Thursday at 7 p.m. Starr Radio UK, your finest Afro-Caribbean station in London.
Bed of Roses, Bed of Roses, Bed of Roses. My name is Doreen Carter. I invite you to join me on Starr Radio UK this and every Saturday at 9:30 p.m. in discussing what goes on behind the curtains with my panel of experts. Remember, the time is 9:30 p.m. this and every Saturday. Bed of Roses is brought to you by the kind courtesy of Voices of Esther.
Let it rain. Let it rain.
Do you want your life to conform to the will of God? Do you want positive change in your life? Are you hungry for the word of God that will set you on your path of destiny? Then listen to Agenda for Change with Apostle Anthony Owusu-Banahine, the founder and presiding minister of Grace Palace Chapel International, on Starr Radio UK every Saturday 12 noon to 1 p.m. and every Wednesday 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Agenda for Change comes to you from Grace Palace Chapel International. We invite you to Winter Celebration service every Sunday 2:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. and Divine Touch, our midweek service, every Wednesday 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. at 68 Winmore Road, Croydon, CR0 2XP.
I was in a tunnel and couldn't see the light.
Oh, not again. I've been duped.
Hello, Kweku. How long will you continue to fall for these unscrupulous landowners? This is the second time, huh? Do you want a hassle-free, litigation-free life when it comes to owning a property in Ghana? Look no further. Royal Valley Estates, RVE, is your answer. RVE is located at Bawaleshi near Valley View University on the Adenta to Dodowa Highway, Accra, Ghana. RVE is a gated community with 24-hour security. 300 houses will be constructed at RVE, comprising of 3-bedroom, semi-detached and 3-bedroom detached houses. The plot sizes at RVE are generous. Mortgages and flexible payment options available to qualified applicants. Rush now and own a house in Ghana. For more information, contact Pastor Joe Kissinger Anochi on 0790-479-3019. You can also contact Reverend Francis Nunu on 0744-049-4271 and also on 0744-8054-930. You can also email him at fs.nunu@gmail.com. You can also visit us at www.royalvalleyestates.gh.com. RVE, a place you can call home.
This coming summer, the Great Commission Society are proud to present a spectacular all-age event. Engage 2017, Saturday 24th of June at the Emmanuel Centre in Westminster, London. The day will start with Evangelism Masterclass from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Dynamic and practical evangelism training by experienced international evangelists Tony Anthony, John Lawson, Neil Obard, featuring performances throughout the day by award-winning worship leaders, followed by a powerful evening of spontaneous worship from 7 till 9:30 p.m. Spectacular non-stop worship led by award-winning UK music artists Eric Reverence, Sandra Godley, Deanna Stambridge, Sam Daniel and Caitlin Boulone. Early bird tickets available now from the following sites: eventbrite.co.uk, greatcommissionsociety.com, sworship.com. This is an event not to be missed.
Listen to Aunties Mary, Lottie and Regina on the Family Enrichment Programme on Starr Radio UK. This and every Saturday from 6 to 8 p.m.
Some people are wicked because don't make it your business going about revealing
people's secrets. Don't be a busybody.
And some people. Today's typical family is under pressure from various directions. Divorce is on the increase. More and more of the Afro-Caribbean youth are taking to crime, etc. The Family Enrichment Programme brings together a team of qualified experts to discuss and shed light on how we can make our families better and stronger. It is said the family can do without the society, but the society can't. Listen to the Family Enrichment Programme this and every Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Starr Radio UK, your favourite Afro-Caribbean radio station in London.
Download our app in iTunes and the Google Play Store.
I was in a tunnel and couldn't see the light.
Oh, not again. I've been duped.
Hello, Kweku. How long will you continue to fall for these unscrupulous landowners? This is the second time, huh? Do you want a hassle-free, litigation-free life when it comes to owning a property in Ghana? Look no further. Royal Valley Estates, RVE, is your answer. RVE is located at Bawaleshi near Valley View University on the Adenta to Dodowa Highway, Accra, Ghana. RVE is a gated community with 24-hour security. 300 houses will be constructed at RVE, comprising of 3-bedroom, semi-detached and 3-bedroom detached houses. The plot sizes at RVE are generous. Mortgages and flexible payment options available to qualified applicants. Rush now and own a house in Ghana. For more information, contact Pastor Joe Kissinger Anochi on 0790-479-3019. You can also contact Reverend Francis Nunu on 0744-049-4271 and also on 0744-8054-930. You can also email him at fs.nunu@gmail.com. You can also visit us at www.royalvalleyestates.gh.com. RVE, a place you can call home.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your
This
smartphone.
is Starr Radio UK.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, this is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in the UK. Welcome to the Family Enrichment Program this evening. Family Enrichment Program aims to put spices in your family life to make it richer, fuller, and to bring positive impact. We want to enjoy our family life and not to endure it. We are very happy to be back in the studio today, as we've been off for about a couple of months. We were not sleeping, we were still carrying on with the program in the community. And Auntie Mary is not with us today. She still got engagement in the community, teaching and educating people about family dynamics and how we can enrich our family life. Auntie Mary, hello, wherever you are at this time. We miss you and carry on with the good work. I have with me in the studio Auntie Regina, who has returned from Ghana from her sunny holiday. I hope that you brought us lots of sunshine. You'll be hearing her voice shortly when she brings her greetings. I want to say a massive thank you to all our listeners around the world for your continued support. Hello to my brother George and his wife Dora Morrison in Missouri, USA. Hello to all the members of Bible Life Family Ministries in Croydon and Milton Keynes. Shiloh was awesome. It was so good to see all of you, and we hope to rise to higher heights next year. Hello to the Dapa family in Casholton, to the Buzia family, Getty and Kojo Buzia in Catford, to hello to Ade Teller, pastor of Winners Chapel in Croydon. Hello to my husband, Archie, our producer. Without him, the program wouldn't be a success. And co-producer, Mr. Frank Davis. Thank you all for what you do with us. Hello to Nana, who will be listening, to Phyllis Abibu, my dear friend. She will soon be leaving me and going to settle in Ghana. I wish her all the best. Auntie Regina, can you bring your greetings to our listeners and welcome?
Thank you, Auntie Lottie.
You're looking
Thank
gorgeous.
you so much, and so are you. Thank you. Hello, listeners. Good evening, everybody. And as our host has already expressed our sincere appreciation for your attention this evening, we want to say thank you for joining us. I have missed you. For me, it's been more than 2 months on being on Family Enrichment. Okay. So I really do miss everybody, and I'm glad to be here this evening, and I'm glad to be part of tonight's program as well.
Thank you for that. And I'm Lottie, your co-host. Forgot to say my name with all the excitement. Anyway, every day our program is sponsored by RVE, Royal Valley Estates. Are you looking for a hassle-free, litigation-free property in Ghana? Look no further. RVE provides all your needs when it comes to owning a property in Ghana. Our topic for discussion today is stress. We're going to look at stress. Stress is a very broad topic, so we'll try our best to do justice to it. But we also encourage all our listeners to call in and contribute and share your experiences, because every day in our lives we say and hear people saying that I am stressed. So it does not happen to one group of people, but to all colors and ages. So the question is, what is stress? How does it affect us, and how or what can we do to manage stress so that it does not take control or take hold of our everyday life? We'll take a commercial break, and then when we come back, we'll start the discussion.
I was in a tunnel and couldn't see the light.
Oh, Nan, not again, not again. I've been duped.
Hello, Kweku. How long will you continue to fall for these unscrupulous landowners? This is the second time, huh? Do you want a hassle-free, litigation-free life when it comes to owning a property in Ghana? Look no further. Royal Valley Estates, RVE, is your answer. RVE is located at Bawaleshi near Valley View University on the Adenta to Dodowa Highway, Accra, Ghana. RVE is a gated community with 24-hour security. 300 houses will be constructed at RVE, comprising of 3-bedroom, semi-detached and 3-bedroom detached houses. The plot sizes at RVE are generous. Mortgages and flexible payment options available to qualified applicants. Rush now and own a house in Ghana. For more information, contact Pastor Joe Kissinger Anochi on 0790-479-3019. You can also contact Reverend Francis Nunu on 0744-049-4271 and also on 0744-8054-930. You can also email him at fs.nunu@gmail.com. You can also visit us at www.royalvalleyestates.gh.com. RVE, a place you can call home.
I can feel heaven is over me.
This coming summer, the Great Commission Society are proud to present a spectacular all-age event, Engage 2017, Saturday 24th of June at the Emmanuel Centre in Westminster, London. The day will start with Evangelism Masterclass from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Dynamic and practical evangelism training by experienced international evangelists Tony Anthony, John Lawson, Neil Obard, featuring performances throughout the day by award-winning worship leaders, followed by a powerful evening of spontaneous worship from 7 till 9:30 p.m. Spectacular non-stop worship led by award-winning UK music artists Eric Reverence, Sandra Godley, Deanna Stambridge, Sam Daniel and Caitlin Boulone. Early bird tickets available now from the following sites: eventbrite.co.uk, greatcommissionsociety.com, sworship.com. This is an event not to be missed.
You are great, yes, you are Holy One. Walked upon the sea, raised the dead.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Mighty God, everything written about you is great. You are great, yes, you are Holy One. Walked upon the sea, raised the dead. You reign in majesty, mighty God. Everything written about you is great. You are 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 great. Oh yeah. You are great. Say you are great. You are great. Say you are great. You are great. Everything, yeah. Everything written about you is great. You are great. You are great. You are great. Oh, you are great. You are. You are great. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Listen to Aunties Mary, Lottie, and Regina on the Family Enrichment Programme on Star Radio UK. This and every Saturday from 6 to 8 p.m.
Some people are wicked because don't make it your business going about revealing
people's secrets. Don't be a busybody.
And some people. Today's typical family is under pressure from various directions. Divorce is on the increase. More and more of the Afro-Caribbean youth are taking to crime, etc. The Family Enrichment Programme brings together a team of qualified experts to discuss and shed light on how we can make our families better and stronger. It is said the family can do without the society, but the society can't. Listen to the Family Enrichment Programme this and every Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Star Radio UK, your favourite Afro-Caribbean radio station in London.
Download our app in iTunes and the Google Play Store.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Hello and welcome back to the Family Enrichment Program on Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in the UK. The song you heard on the commercial and musical break was You Are Great by Steve Crown. You Are Great. Family Enrichment Program looks at dynamics in the family, and we've discussed a lot of different topics, which is on our iPod
and podcast.
On the podcast. And we encourage our listeners, if you're new, you are now listening to us, to make it a point to go back and listen to some of the earlier topics that we discussed. They are very educative and they can help with situations in the home. They are very, very encouraging. We also encourage you to tell a friend to tune in using the Star Radio UK app, or follow us on Facebook or YouTube, our YouTube channels, to be part and parcel of the discussions. The number to call is 0208 133 2257, 0208 133 2258. To call us from US or Canada is 001 718 303 2737. Text or WhatsApp is on 075 3966 1744. And this program is sponsored by RVE, Royal Valley Estates. Our topic for today, for discussion, as I said earlier on, is about stress and worrying, anxiety, about life, what life throws about you, and we're going to look at some of the things that causes us to worry so much, causes us to be stressed in our day-to-day life, and how best we can manage the stress, the different types, what we can do, and we look forward to hearing from you, your experiences, what you did better, how you coped with stress, things that came into your life that stressed you out. We want to hear all about it.
That's right.
So do join us, call in and contribute and ask questions as well. At this point, Auntie Regina, I'll bring you in. As I said, we hear about stress. We hear people worrying all the time. What do we mean by stress?
Thank you so much. I think today all our listeners will be encouraged to call other people to tune in. Actually, this topic is something that it's very important to the family enrichment.
Yeah.
Because when we are enriching ourselves with all the other aspects, how to relate with one another, how to manage our relationships, we need to know that not everything you can control.
Yeah.
There are certain things you can't control. It's out of your control.
Yeah.
And that can cause stress or can cause you to worry. The moment you start worrying, that means something is not quite right.
Yes.
So to put blatantly and simply, stress is a mental state or emotional strain resulting because of a circumstances or resulting from a circumstances. So when you are emotionally strained, and I think that's where we want to look at a lot today, because that is where the family dynamic issues that we talk about, the family enrichment comes in. Because as people, as human beings, we relate with one another, and we always want to have good relationships. We want to be very cordial. We want to be able to work together, live together, love together, and everything. But when these things are not to our expectation, or when they are not falling in line like we would want it to be, this is where we begin to worry. We begin to become anxious about something. You don't know what the other person is doing. You don't know what they are thinking. You don't know what's going to happen. So that is where we are coming from with this program, to help our family enrichment listeners today. So please, it's not about anything else but to support our listeners. So stress, as I said, is a state of mental or emotional strain or tension resulting from adverse demanding circumstances. So it's simply put, when something is not right and it puts pressure on you. So the other words that we can use interchangeably with stress is strain, is pressure, is tension, is worrying, is anxiety, is nervousness, when you become very nervous. When we talk about stress and what stress is, it's the way your body responds to any kind of demand. It's the way your body responds to any kind of demand. It can be caused by both good or bad stresses. So sometimes there are stresses in life that are good. We will touch on that a bit later. And sometimes there are stresses that are very bad for your health. Again, we will dive deep into that. So when these things happen, when there's a demand placed on your body begins to release certain chemicals into the bloodstream. And this is where some people will say, I get butterflies in my stomach. They are referring to being nervous. You become very nervous because of these chemicals that are being released by the body naturally as a way of responding to the demand that has been placed on the body. Then the body begins to release these chemicals, and these chemicals start flowing in the bloodstream. So they start sending signals to various nerve systems in the brain, and then the body then begins to become frightful or fights. We will talk about that as well. So basically, it's the way the body responds. When we talk about stress, it's the way the body responds to a demand. It's an emotional tension. It's an emotional strain. It's something that, it's adverse. It's out of the normal or the norm. So when something is out of the normal or the norm, it's not something you are used to. Because the body,
comfort zone.
It's out of your comfort zone. The body is very good at adjusting. Doctors always says that you should watch a little child when they are beginning to walk, toddler. The way they move, the way they kind of take their steps, the body can adapt in so many ways and adjust in so many ways, and it can do so sequentially to the point that if you are there, you wouldn't even notice that you are doing it because it's so naturally done. However, when there is a demand placed on the body, the way the body needs to respond has to follow this kind of pattern, a natural way to respond. And sometimes when that demand is in the adverse circumstances, it's not pleasurable, it's not what you are expecting, it's not what you hope for, it's not what you would like, which then releases all the bad chemicals in the body. And that chemicals then gives you that situation where you feel that tension, where you feel that strain on your body. So when you are feeling stress, it means you are not of yourself.
I want to add that what you said about demand, it's precious.
It is
we
precious.
we are referring to precious of life, things that are out of your control, things that you can't control or
manage.
Manage.
When you can't manage something,
yes,
that automatically becomes stressful.
Yes, it becomes stressful. It could be anything. It
could
be within your relationship. It could be your children. It could be finance. It could be anything at all, depending on how you perceive that situation.
That's right.
It can cause you stress.
That's right. Yeah.
So
the moment you start worrying about something, because as we are saying, stress is when the body, a demand is placed on the body. For example, when you go to the shop and you've got money in your pocket, it doesn't matter what you want to buy. You flow through the shop from one counter to the other.
Your bill comes. When your bill comes and you've got the money to pay, you're all right. But when the bills are coming through the letterbox and you look at your bank balance and you realize that, oh gosh, how am I going to pay this? How am I going to do this? It all adds up to your
stresses. You worry. Financial stress is one of the biggest factors that damages life a lot. And not so long ago, when we had this big recession, many people unfortunately took their life because of financial stress. So stress is a big thing. It affects our health. It affects our health. It affects our well-being. It affects the way we function. That is why even in a family, when there is stress, the family unity and the dynamics changes. So we need to know why we have that stress. When we are able to put that stress into perspective, as you are saying, when you know the bill is coming next month, you know you have to start earning from today. If you are in that situation, not everybody needs to earn before they can pay their bills. Some people just have things taken care of. Praise God for that. But for us that need to work, get the paycheck, and for those that live from one paycheck to the other, they have to have what they call budget. So when these stresses are coming in, when you know that I've got to pay my mobile bill and the direct debit is set up for the 15th, and today is the 14th, and you look at the bank account thanks to internet banking, and you can see there isn't anything there. So when the banks go tomorrow, they are not going to get their money. It releases bad chemicals. Immediately there is tension. And that tension releases chemicals. You begin to experience the worrying aspect. The anxiety starts to come in. You don't know what to do. You don't know whether you should go to sleep, whether you should go to the market, whether you should go and have a walk, whatever it is. So that is where we are coming from with the stress. So we need to understand that everyday life can lead to stress if it's not well managed. So
far, we've zeroed in probably on adults, people earning. But when we look at even our children, as young as 10, they sometimes will tell us they are stressed.
Very much so. And maybe their stress is even more than ours.
and sometimes we wonder that you are 10 years old, you haven't got any bills to pay. How can you be stressed? So,
because this is where we are talking about with the perspective. Your perspective is to pay your bills. Our children's perspective, or a child under the age of 10, their perspective is to get the next expensive toy, and they don't know when they're gonna get that toy. So the idea of even waiting, the waiting period, it puts tension on them. They think about their friends playing with their toys, things like that. So, and then also we look at our teenage. I mean, most of the children in UK at this season are going through their various exams, and it's one of the worst season in a teenage life when it comes to exams time. So stress comes to us every day. Even getting out of bed, it can be stressful because you wish you were in bed sleeping. So stress comes to us every day, but it's how we manage it and how we perceive it and why that stress is there. Because as we said, some stresses are good, positive, some stresses are bad, negative, and you need to know which one is which and how you can best deal with it. Because the positive stress will spur you up. It will shoot you, give you energy. It will make you want to do more. And some people, when they are stressed, they perform better. We have people that perform very well when they are under pressure. I think I fall into that category quite easily, because often when I'm under pressure, that's when I can get my mind thinking the way I want it to work. When everything is calm and cool and collected, I feel like I'm too relaxed. There's no excitement in going on around me. But we are all very different. That's me. I'm not saying that's how everybody manages. That's me. I love being under some kind of pressure. And I think without any kind of pressure in life, I don't think anybody can function.
No. Because when I was reading about it, it said that if you don't experience some magnitude, some margin of stress, it means that your body is under
stimulated. Yes, it's under stimulant. It's not being stimulated enough.
Yes. So they are saying that some form of stress is good for our body.
Yes.
And it's good for the human function. So but it's how we manage it. It's how we perceive it.
Yeah.
So shall we look at the types of stress?
Okay.
There are the different types of stress.
Okay. There are various types of stresses in life, and as we said before, it's the way the body is responding to outside demand. So something that has been presented to you. So when we look at various types of stresses, we are talking about things to do with anxiety. We are talking about things to do with depression. We are talking, it can cause a lot of physical health issues in our body. But we have external stresses and we have internal stresses. So let's maybe look at what internal stress is. Internal stress is when you are worrying for no reason at all. You worry for no reason. And we have people like that. Worry for no reason. Everything has to be, I think that is where the term, I don't know this, so don't quote me. But I think that is where the term Miss Perfect came from, or Mr. Perfect came from. They worry that things are not going to be the way it should be. So they take steps to ensure. Are you sure you've done it? For example, let's bring some practical example. For example, I've turned the cooker off. My husband will ask me in the living room, have you turned the cooker off? Yes, I've turned the cooker off. 2 minutes later, are you sure you've turned the cooker off? Yes, I've turned the cooker off. Please go and check it. You see where I'm coming from? So insisting that I go and make sure that the cooker is turned off is worrying for no reason. Because I'm telling you I've turned the cooker off. But you don't want to believe what I'm saying, or you don't want to take my word for it. So that's an example of an internal stress. When you worry for unknown reason, and you worry because unnecessarily. You are worrying unnecessarily. It is not necessary, but you can't help it. So you just do it. Some people are like that. That is their predisposition. That is how they've been programmed. They make sure everything is like that. So that is one aspect of internal stress. And then we have environmental stresses. Environmental stresses is when we respond to things around us. That is where that is the most damaging type of stress that anybody can experience. The environmental, external stresses. Because those ones are out of your control. You don't have control over that. For example, you don't pray for a car to knock you down as you cross the road.
No.
But it does happen to some people, unfortunately. And it can change their life for the rest of their lives. So that is an external stress. And you can't control that. You are not behind the steering wheel. So you are not the one who is knocking yourself down with a car. But it's happened. What are you going to do? Example, you're not the one that causes illness in your body. For various reasons. Some people have terminal diseases. It's not them that causes. but it happens, unfortunately, and that it causes major stress. So external factors are things that you don't have control over it. It just happens. It knocks at your door, and that is life. Because we don't control life, we live life, and we hope that life becomes more manageable. But when we are not able to manage life, when we are not able to control our life, when we are not able to experience the things or get the things we want in life, that in itself also is stressful. So the external factors, so it can be things at work. You have a job, you go to work every day, and you all you want to do, go there, work, and come home, and continue to live your life happily ever after. But unfortunately, there will be somebody at work, the moment they see your face, that alone is a problem. Whether it is your lipstick, I'm talking to the women, whether it's your hair, whether it's your perfume, your shoe, they just can't stand you. And they will make your life miserable. And you can't control that. You may approach them, what have I done? How can we resolve this issue? They won't listen. They are not interested. What can you do about that? You need to know how to manage that situation in order to relieve yourself of that anxiety. Because what that will do is cause you to a point where when it's time to go to work,
you don't want to.
You are frightful. You really, really are frightful. You just don't have joy going to work. So that again is an external factor. And then there are major causes of stress in life. I don't know if you want us to continue or major causes of stress in life. So what can cause stress in life?
Before you touch on that, I've just remembered.
Okay.
When I was doing the research, I came across acute stress and chronic stress.
Okay.
So where does those two fall into with the internal and
the external? Right.
Yeah. Because it said that the acute is short-lived stress, and the chronic is like prolonged.
Yeah.
Which is the one that is very damaging.
That's it.
To our health.
That's it.
Yeah. So how do we?
Acute, as you've quite rightly explained, acute is short span. It's instantaneous. It's something that happens for a short period. So that's acute. And it happens suddenly. So you didn't expect it, you didn't plan it, you didn't design it, you didn't manufacture it. It happens. So that's where you need to bear in mind that demands are going to be placed on your life. Things are going to be asked of you. So this can be the reason why you will experience acute stress. For example, your child, if you're a mother, as it's a family program, let's talk from I'm a mother, so I like to use mothering examples. So as a mother, you know your children are well in the morning, you send them off to school, then they ring you, and then your child is very unwell. And when you go and see your child, and then immediately you have to think of planning child care, taking the child to A&E and that. So that short period of time, you can experience a level of stress, especially if you are about to go to work when this happens and you have to reprogram your whole day. So you can experience some kind of stress there. That is acute because the reason why it's acute is that it's going to be dealt with within a short space of time. And in the next 2-3 hours, gone. It's not there anymore. Problem solved. So that is the aspect of acute. It can be external and it's mostly external. Acute stresses are mostly external. The only time I can think outside the box where you will experience acute stress is if you were to have a sudden headache or a sudden something that take you by surprise. But that doesn't normally happen because when you're about to get a headache, you feel it for a while. So unless it's sudden, you will know. So that would be an example of an acute stress. Prolonged stress is the one that we all need to focus on. Is the one that we need to deal with. Is the one that we have to manage. Is the one that we have to know about. And is the one that we have to be alert to. We have to be aware of, because the prolonged ones are the ones that can have an impact on your health. Full stop. And when it prolongs, it means it's hanging around you for a long time. It can be for 2-3 days. You don't know the damage it has done to your body for that 2-3 days,
because of the chemicals
that are being released. Your organs, your internal organs are not functioning as they were designed to function. So when that happens, the damage that it has done to you. Some people, when they experience stress, some people can experience nausea. They vomit a lot. And when you vomit a lot, you excrete a lot of body fluids. And that is a problem. And that is the way they are managing with the stress. They can't keep anything down. So that in itself is a problem. You lose a lot of body fluids, body minerals. It's a whole lot. So prolonged stress is not good. It's not good because it damages your health. And again, prolonged stress, it can be as a result of an external demand. But it is because you've not dealt with the demand. It's because you've not responded to that demand. It's because you've not looked into it. That is why it's prolonging. That is why it's hanging around. So it's best, if you can, whatever comes your way on a daily basis, you tick all the boxes before you go to sleep. And tick them quick if you can. Not always possible, but
not always possible.
At times you can. And then you come out of that prolonged stress. Prolonged stress also can be accumulated. It can be accumulated. For example, I think finance is a very good topic. Everybody wants to talk about it.
Everywhere.
So prolonged stress can be as a result of bad financial management of an individual. Forget the family. Just one person in the family not being able to manage the finances very well can affect the whole family. It can affect everybody around them. And it can also affect that individual badly. And that can be over a period of time. I always talk about people. When I advise people, I always tell them that get out of credit cards. Come out of it. It's a good thing if you know how to manage it. Because you can use the money today and pay tomorrow. Because you know you can manage that. But if you are accumulating debt, thinking I have a credit card. When credit card came out, Auntie Lottie, when you got a credit card and they gave you £2,000 credit, you said, wow, I'm rich. I have a credit card. I've got £2,000. Little did you know it's not your money. It's not your money. And those days, the interest rates, and even some of the interest rates you pay today, you spend £1, you are paying £1.40 or £1.60 or whatever. It's too much. And some people will say, the only way credit cards are good is when you buy today and you're able to pay it all off tomorrow. That's fine. So prolonged stress is when you yourself allow things that you know that you can't manage to come and, infringe your life to the point where that it is disturbing your sleep. It is disturbing your peace. It's disturbing your ability to function. Because when you have stress, your ability to function diminishes. Especially the negative one. Especially the negative stress. Your ability to function as a normal human being diminishes.
So somebody once told me, which I think is a good thing, that when you are under stress, when you're worried, do not make important decisions. Because your ability to reason, rational,
your logic systems are not in place, and it can affect the decision you are making, which can be to your detriment. It can be to your detriment. So yes, it's important. It's important that we bear these things in mind.
And talking about external factors, I recently came across somebody that something happened to them out of their control. They lost their job, and not something that a job that they are very passionate about. And when that happened, they felt that their whole world has come crashing down. And then went into isolation, not talking to people, trying to find a solution or look at other options, and went deeper and deeper into this stress mood that affected their behavior, and turned their whole, something that I perceive that it could have been dealt with in a different way, because of the chemical release, as we are talking about now, in their brain. They were not able to make rational decisions or
perceive it rationally.
And that rather took them down a road that naturally they wouldn't have gone. And
as you're talking, I'm thinking of the word predisposition, which simply means some people are susceptible to certain things and others are not. To put it in a layman terms, it to be that some people have, for example, how do I say this? For example, when we talk about genetics, so some people have a predisposition, as I was saying, to worrying, and some people have a predisposition to managing stress. No, it doesn't matter how much stress you give them. They can still rise above it. Their body can still cope. But unfortunately, not all of us are designed that way. And that is why it's important we know know yourself, know who you are, know how much you can handle, how much debt you can manage. You can go to sleep if you know you only owe 1,000 pounds. Some people can go to sleep and they know they owe 20 billion, but they can still sleep. I don't think I can go to sleep if I know I owe more than 2,000 pounds. I think I'm gonna faint. You know, when I know my credit cards are beyond a certain limit, I don't rest. I don't rest. And it has happened to me. I'm not going to say it's not happened. I've woken up one day and I've realized that my credit cards are all over the place because of outside demands, demands placed on me. But then again, that results negatively. So this person, for example, job losses, one of the major reasons or causes for stress in life. Job loss. For example, others can be debt. When you are in debt, poor diet, job insecurity. When you don't have a security, when the contract is zero contract, so every month they renew it for you. That can be stressful. That is why it's important when you are, on a daily basis, you look at planning your life. What do you need to do? And I think family enrichment, we are always telling people, if you need to go back to school to further your education, to secure your job for whatever reason, it's an opportunity for you to do that. And why not? So some of the problems, bereavement can cause stress. Loss of partner, or shall I say spouse, because partner now has its own connotations. So let me use the word spouse. So loss of spouse can result in a heap of stress. Loss of your own child. I don't know whether yesterday you were watching Adum TV, for example, the burial of this young army officer. It was so sad. It was so sad. It was so sad. Every mother, I think, that was watching, all mothers have been weeping the loss of this young man's life. And the mother, I kept looking at her. I kept looking at the wife. And I'm thinking, and now I'm glad you're talking about getting psychological help for the entire family, including the children, because they've gone through a lot. And trauma can also cause stress in your life. So these things can bring about, trauma, so ill health or something that, as we were saying before, out of your control. Your child, for example, misbehaving. When your child goes, say, wayward, out of control, as they say, that alone can cause stress for the parents. When your child is not performing well at school, anything can cause stress. Anything can cause stress. When you don't have that financial security, when you don't have that emotional security, when you don't have that peace, good health, your health can cause you stress. So when these things are happening, you as an individual, you need to step back. You need to look at things. You need to see, where am I going with this? Which ones can I manage? Which ones can I do well with? Which ones can I eliminate? Because every time you drop something that gives you stress, you are prolonging your life.
Period.
Pure and simple. Every time you can drop something that gives you stress, you are prolonging your life. Why? Because when you put too much tension emotionally on the brain, when you strain your brain so much, it leads to other illnesses under the term mental health. So people who experience a lot of anxiety, there's so many different varieties of anxiety disorders out there. And even phobias are part of anxiety disorders. When you have a phobia of something, you are afraid of something. People are afraid of open spaces. People are afraid of heights. And when a person is afraid of
cats.
what is the name of that phobia?
I don't know why.
Okay, so when you are afraid of cats and we put you in a room full of cats,
you can't do that.
You can imagine how your body will cope with that. And if you are in there for a week, that's where you are either going to survive or you are going to
for few minutes or for few hours, because the nature of my job means that I go to people's homes, people's homes, family homes or hospitals, residential nursing homes and stuff like that. And when I get to the homes, the first thing I ask is, do you have a cat? And if you do, can you put the cat somewhere that it doesn't come near me? Because if the cat comes near me, I cannot concentrate to do my job.
Right.
Yeah. So
that is how bad it is. That you just have to pick your bag and leave that house that minute because of that cat. But I mean, it's interesting. Because what you've done is you've identified your stresses, or one of them anyway. So you now have put in a strategy for managing that stressor. And that is what we are talking about here. If nobody picks anything from today's topic, what I would want someone to pick is to identify what is causing you that stress and find a way to manage it. Because if it's, for example, your child, if it's your child and your child, let's say, is failing at school, not every child is born brilliant automatically. And I think brilliance is something that is not easily born with, but acquired. You can acquire brilliance. So you can take steps to support that child to get to where they may not be the next Einstein, but they would get somewhere that will give you that relief away from that stress that you want. If it's to do with your finances, go and see your bank manager. If you need an overdraft, I remember many years ago, a friend of mine called me many years ago. I can't add on it. She said, "Regina, have you got an overdraft?" I said, "What is an overdraft?" I had never heard the word.
Okay.
I said, "What is an overdraft?" He said, "But haven't you got a bank account?" I said, "I have a bank account." He said, "How much overdraft do you have?" "I need a loan." I said, "What?" "If you need a loan, why do you need my overdraft?" I was pretending to. I said, "By the way, please tell me, what is an overdraft?" "Oh, that is when the bank can give you money." And then, so they explained the process to me. I said, "Oh, I don't think I have." And when I went to check, I did not have. So the bank money, the person that I met asked me, "How much do you want overdraft?" So for me, I was afraid to go for big. So I said, "Oh, £100. Immediately they put 100. When I told my friend, said, "Regina, why did you say £1,000?
You still have to pay back.
You still have to pay back.
Yeah.
But that overdraft is there to help in the interim.
Yeah.
Without huge charges. It's safe. You can use that overdraft to manage something without having to pay a huge amount of interest. So it's a good way of managing your finances. But beyond that, if you have 20 credit cards, you need to start cutting them up. Cut about 15.
You need to draw up a budget.
Yes.
Yeah, and see where you can cut things, and because sometimes I looked at my finances recently, and I've had like laptop that I bought for the kids years ago, and some of them were not even being used, and I was still paying for management.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I went through my finances and I cancelled all those direct payments.
Yes, definitely. There's a new word that I want to share with our listeners. You know, budget in itself connotes limitations.
Why?
The moment you use the word budget, you're looking at limitations. You are limiting yourself. But when you use the word financial planning, you are changing the perspective. It's all about perception.
It is, because when I talk about budgeting, it's looking at your income and expenditure, and making sure that you are staying
within boundaries
and not knowing what you have, and what you can spend, and managing it.
So it's financial planning.
Exactly.
It's financial planning. But what I'm saying is, budgeting starts to bring a negative. When you say I've got a budget,
it means you are looking at your finances.
You are looking at your finances and looking at it with a very critical eye. But when you are financially planning, you are making allowances. You are bringing in how much you can spend and how much you can save and all that. So when we look at the issues to do with finances, is one of the major issues that causes stress in our life. So if someone is listening to us this evening, they need to address that, because it will take away a lot of the pressures you have put on yourself. This is not environmental. It's what you have placed on yourself, and you need to deal with it. You need to get it done. It can be your health. Your health can cause you a lot of stress. Some of us, we are happy with our weight. Some of us, we are not happy with our weight, the size, the height, whatever. And then taking it to the next level, it could be blood pressure, physical health issues like diabetes, blood pressure, heart diseases. These things can be causing you stress. So if what you need to do is to cut out certain food that you eat that is not helping, you need to address that. You need to look into that, and then indeed eliminate that also, or control that, or manage that. Maybe all you need to do is to introduce some exercises in your life. Go for walks in the morning, in the evening, in the afternoon.
That's management of the stress
of that particular issue causing you stress. So you find a way to manage that stress. And I think that will be very useful for somebody.
This is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station. And this is the Family Enrichment Program. And we are discussing stress, worrying, anxiety. And with me in the studio is Auntie Regina. And we've been looking at what is stress. We've talked a bit about it. That it is something that is out of your control, that takes you out of your comfort zone. It's uncomfortable. It brings pressure, and that causes you to worry. And it could be internal or external factors. Internal, we've explained that it's something that you put on yourself. External is what society, environmental, things that you cannot plan against. It can come suddenly.
It can come suddenly, yeah.
And then it causes you stress. We've looked at some of the causes, and we are now looking at management as well. It's all intertwined. So stay tuned and do not touch that dial. We will take a commercial break and we will be back shortly.
Listen to Aunties Mary, Lottie and Regina on the Family Enrichment Programme on Starr Radio UK. This and every Saturday from 6 to 8 p.m.
Some people are wicked because don't make it your business going about revealing
people's secrets. Don't be a busybody.
And some people. Today's typical family is under pressure from various directions. Divorce is on the increase. More and more of the Afro-Caribbean youth are taking to crime, etc. The Family Enrichment Programme brings together a team of qualified experts to discuss and shed light on how we can make our families better and stronger. It is said the family can do without the society, but the society can't. Listen to the Family Enrichment Programme this and every Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Starr Radio UK, your favourite Afro-Caribbean radio station in London.
Download our app in iTunes and the Google Play Store.
Like giving up. Negative thoughts keep running through your mind. That's the lie of the devil. He will try to keep you down. Look inside him. There's something great in you. As long as you are alive, he'll fix it for you. Never give up. Never, never, never give up. Only believe his promises are sure. Quitters never win, winners never quit. Trust in Jesus, your light will surely shine. Never give up, never, never, never give up. Only believe his promises are sure. Quitters never win, winners never quit. Trust in Jesus, your life will surely shine.
This is Starr Radio UK. Online, on mobile, and soon on DAB. This is Starr Radio UK, the finest Afro-Caribbean radio station in London.
Never give up, never, never, never give up. Only believe his promises are sure. Quitters never win, winners never quit. Trust in Jesus, your light will surely shine. Never give up, never, never, never give up. Only believe his promises are sure. Quitters never win, winners never quit. Trust in Jesus, your light will surely shine. Never give up, never, never, never give up. Only believe His promises are sure. Quitters never win, winners never quit. Trust in Jesus, your light will surely shine. Never give up, oh never, never, never give up. Only believe His promises are sure.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Winners never quit.
All around the
Trust
world.
in Jesus, your light will surely shine. Never give up. I was in a tunnel and couldn't see the light.
Oh, Nan, not again, not again. I've been duped.
Hello, Kweku. How long will you continue to fall for these unscrupulous landowners? This is the second time, huh? Do you want a hassle-free, litigation-free life when it comes to owning a property in Ghana? Look no further. Royal Valley Estates, RVE, is your answer. RVE is located at Bawaleshi near Valley View University on the Adenta to Dodowa Highway, Accra, Ghana. RVE is a gated community with 24-hour security. 300 houses will be constructed at RVE, comprising of 3-bedroom, semi-detached and 3-bedroom detached houses. The plot sizes at RVE are generous. Mortgages and flexible payment options available to qualified applicants. Rush now and own a house in Ghana. For more information, contact Pastor Joe Kissinger Anochi on 0790 479 3019. You can also contact Reverend Francis Nunu on 0744 049 4271 and also on 0744 8054930. You can also email him at fs.nunu@gmail.com. You can also visit us at www.royalvalleyestates.gh.com. RVE, a place you can call home.
Feel heaven, heaven is over me.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Hello and welcome back to the Family Enrichment Program. With me in the studio is Auntie Regina and I'm Lottie, your co-host. We are discussing stress, worrying, anxiety in life. We don't ask for stress, but stress finds us in
our
walk of
everyday life. Yes,
whatever
daily
we do.
life. Yes.
Yeah, you can wake up in the morning without any reason and you feel stressed and you can't understand why. It's all part and parcel of life. And we are encouraging on this platform that as a family, when a member of the family is stressed or exhibiting signs of stress, we shouldn't discount it. We should support and encourage that person and advise them, take steps to reduce the stress that they are facing, because we are all one big happy family. Okay, we've explained stress as how the body responds to situations that are uncomfortable beyond our control, as situations that we cannot manage. The body releases chemicals which can be positive if it's short-term stress and can be negative if it's long-term stress, and can have adverse effect on your health. So as much as there is positive stress out there, we should watch against the negative stress which can be detrimental to our health. I was thinking about within Christianity, sometimes when people are going through stress and you're being counseled or being comforted, encouraged by your sisters, by your pastors, by your members, somebody might say to you that, oh, this is something God things you can manage. That is why it's coming your way. And God will never give you anything that you cannot manage. So how do we interpret that? How do we deal with that? Because stresses come on different levels, and what maybe you perceive that it's nothing, to somebody it's a very, very big, massive thing for them. So how do we
I'm glad
make
you've
sense
asked
of
this
that?
question, Auntie Lottie. I'm so glad, because as Christians, which I'm proudly one, it's part and parcel. Nobody is immune from stress. Stress doesn't look for non-Christians to go to, or look for other faiths to go to. Stress comes to as long as you're alive. Stress, you're not immune. Stress can knock at your door anytime. And even I was just reflecting, one of the ways that we even become stressed is during marriage. When you are planned, we did talk about when you lose, when the divorce happens. But when the marriage is about to take place, both couples can go through a lot of stressful time. And also when they break up and all that. So stress is it's part and parcel of our daily life. Now, as Christians, we are also human beings. We have our daily amount of living that we have to do. The challenges. We have the amount of management that we have to do. As a mother, I still have to manage my home, manage my work, manage the finances, manage this, manage that, manage my relationship. I still have to find time for myself, including the extended family. So stress, I'm not immune to stress, as you can see. By the time you've listed
from Africa
and
Caribbean, we have double that, because you've got your stresses.
It's our culture. It's our culture.
Exactly. And that gives us more stress. Because you have to manage the situation where you are residing, and then think about the extended family as well, and manage.
Of course.
The
And you do that with a smile.
Not always.
You have to do that with a smile. No two ways about that. That is who God has made you. That's where we are coming with this. So we say this all the time, especially when you're a Christian. Sometimes you are even shy or reserved to say the words "I'm stressed," or not. Let's not underestimate it. Don't say it for the sake of saying "I'm stressed." We have a habit of saying "I'm stressed." Oh, I'm feeling stressed. Oh, leave me alone. I'm feeling stressed. We say that every day. But what do we mean by that? We are talking about when things are not the way they should be, and you are really experiencing some challenges, tangible reasons for you to be challenged in life. As I was saying, it could be a divorce situation, it could be a separation, it could be to do with your children, it could be your health, it could be your work, it could be even your parents. For us that our parents are alive, my mother might be taken ill unexpectedly. The monies that I have to support the family with, the fact that my mother is unwell, all that can become an issue all of a sudden, and it can become a prolonged situation, which can lead to a lot of stress. Now, when my Christian brothers and sisters say to me, let me use myself as an example, I'm going through something for whatever reason, and they come to me and they say, oh, I think it's because God sees that you can manage it. Meanwhile, I'm still not, I'm barely surviving. Just because I put my clothes on and come to church every Sunday doesn't mean I'm coping. The Bible clearly says that if someone needs bread, you have to give them bread. There's no point in you praying with them and telling them, go and God be with you, and not give them the bread. So if I come to you as a pastor, and the pastors need to hear this, and they need to put in mechanisms to help us. Because when I come to you as a pastor and I say to you that, look, I'm really, for example, I need money. I can't pay this month's rent. I really need help. Don't tell me to go and sell my jewelry, to go and pawn my chain or my ring or whatever, my watch, to go and pay my rent for that month. It's not the best advice that I need at that time. What I need at that time is the physical cash to go and pay my rent. But then afterwards, you can call me aside and tell me that this is what you need to do so you don't experience this anymore. It's good to pray with me. I don't underestimate the power of prayers as a Christian. I do. I love to pray. But once you have finished the prayers, direct me in a way that will help me. Don't leave me practical. Don't leave me in no man's land. Because if you don't teach me how to fish for myself, I will continually depend on you for food. But if you teach me how to fish, I can go out there and fish for myself. And we need to practice these things. Now, I will encourage somebody to, when somebody shares their problem with you, you need to know who you're sharing it with, first of all. But if someone shares their problem with you, count it a privilege. Don't count it as an excuse for you to start dialing every number on your phone and sharing somebody's story, because you're talking about another human being here. You're talking about another person. Thank you, producer. Thank you so much. My producer is looking after me. Yes, I won't tell you what it is, but thank you, producer. So you need to know that when someone comes to you, when you are in a position of authority, as we are talking about a church environment, and someone approaches you and they share their sincere worry with you, because another word for stress is worry. They share their sincere worry with you. Take it on board. Don't underestimate it, or don't turn it into one of, quote unquote, a spirituality thing. Everything is now spiritual. And when we have to deal with things tangibly, physically, manage it from that point of view, we are still, let's pray about it. How are we going to pray about the situation if it's not going? The bank manager don't understand, let's pray about it. All they want is to see red going back to black. They don't care about, let's pray about it. Now, I'm not, please don't send us WhatsApp messages about debt cancellation. That's not what we are talking about here. Please, we want practical results. Before the debt cancellation, before I see that letter, I need to go and negotiate, isn't it? Maybe I have to go and negotiate and say I can only pay half.
And maybe you don't have that information. So you need to be educated.
You need to be educated to go and talk to my debtors and say, look, all right, I hold my hand up. I owe you £10. Out of this £10, I can only pay 2p every month for the next 20 years. Deal? Stress gone. You are free. That is practical. I need a pastor to tell me that. I don't need a pastor to tell me to go and sell my watch or something at that time. I also need...
God knows you can carry it.
God knows you can bear it. Well, God knows you can bear it, but God has given us the wisdom to manage it. God does not want your health to be affected.
No.
God knows you can bear it. Meanwhile, you are not sleeping at night. God knows you can bear it. Meanwhile, you don't have any joy in you. Christians commit suicide. Or you're hungry. Or you're experiencing some mental breakdown. You see, your behavior, because stress can affect your behavior, as we said. So your behavior,
the way people sound mind at the time. If you're worried, and especially if it's prolonged, the possibility that your whole focus will be on that particular problem and not being able to think outside that to find solutions to whatever you are facing is greater. So you need somebody to be able to be there. If you are able to share, there's a problem shared is problem halved. If you are able to share with somebody you trust, then you expect it's like a cry for help. What can you do to support me? What can you do to help me? Sometimes you don't have the physical help to give the person, but maybe you
emotional
or the knowledge
yeah,
that you can do A, B, and C. You can go to this place, you can go to that place, and they will be able to help you. It all comes together to form part of the helping.
And it's part and culture of our Christian churches. It's something we need to be able to put in place. It's one of the strategies we need to have in place to help our members, our church members, our church brothers and sisters, as pastors, as leaders, as congregants. We all need to be aware. We all have something that we can help somebody with. It's just being able to know what it is that we have and what it is that we can offer. But let's not just spiritualize everything. It is not helping us. It's not helping us, because when someone goes home and they still have to face that same problem every day, and there's no practical solution, you are not helping the person. It's going to be prolonged. It's going to affect their health. It's going to destroy them.
And
It
it's
will
going to
destroy
affect
them.
their faith as well.
It will affect some people's faith.
Because we are not all on the same spiritual level. So that is why we are saying that it stress, worrying is how the person perceives it. So you have to look at it from that person's point of view. Try to look at it from that person's point of view and not generalize that.
No.
Oh, this small thing.
Yeah, I mean, trivial, you can say that, but when you do that, you put that person at risk.
Yeah, you do.
You put that person at risk. We are all individuals, and when we started, we were saying what I can manage and even make me function at my highest possible best levels may not be what you need. We are not the same. So just because Regina will cope with it doesn't mean Joyce has to cope with it. Doesn't mean Grace has to cope with it. Doesn't mean, and so on and so forth. So let's not make that mistake. Let's not generalize it. Yes, the Bible clearly states that God will not allow any temptation that you cannot bear to come your way. But that is where they always end it. But the very next scripture says, but in that temptation, God will make a way of escape. So you will be able to find yourself escaping. But we always end it where God will not bring any temptation. So please, let's look for the way of escape, because stress will make you grow. Stress can cause you to grow. In fact, if you
happen to come out the other side, then it will help you grow, because it's shaping your character. And then when somebody is going through it, you will be able to advise the person and give practical advice that try this, try that. It worked for me. I don't know. It may work for you.
It will. Stress will make you grow, because when we talk about the negative and the positive stress, then the positive stress will always energize you. Give you you will surprise yourself. I didn't think I was able to do that. So it gives you that excitement. Oh, I've done it. Oh, so it was that simple. So you can get this buzz around you when you are under the right levels of stress and the right amount of stress, and it's making you function at a higher level than you would normally function. But somebody, that same thing can cripple that person and bring that person to zero. So you cannot look at that other person and say, why didn't you manage it? Or use this scripture to bash that person's head. No, that's not what the person needs. Just because I was able to turn the negative into positive and move on to the next level doesn't mean we expect John also to turn it around the same way. What John needs is maybe a little helping hand. As you're saying, signposting them to a particular resource that is going to help them. For example, going to Citizens Advice Bureau, contacting somebody in a community, going to the council for help. There are various social support network in the community wherever you live, as that live abroad. There's a whole lot that you can access. It starts with your GP. You can go to your GP and tell your GP that this is what is happening. What can you do for me? I need help. Use that word. If you need help, please don't be ashamed. Don't be frightened. Don't feel you are the odd one out. And even if you are the odd one out, it means you're important. So you need to stand up and be counted. So go to your GP, tell your GP, this is what is happening. GP is general practitioner. Tell your general practitioner, this is what is happening, and let that person signpost you somewhere. Now, if you feel you can't go to your GP because for some of us, certain things you share with your GP can affect your job in a way. Fair enough. Look for help yourself in the community, and they will protect your privacy. They will protect your privacy for accessing that help rather than sitting at home and suffering in silence. And in churches, if I quickly touch on that, women fellowship, for us that have the opportunity to educate the women from a different perspective, share this information with your group. In the communities,
you have to trust people. People have to have confidence to be able to share personal, difficult challenges, because sometimes if the trust is not there.
I was even talking about the people that can signpost people to get the help.
All right.
Yeah. Share this information with them. As for the person going through that stress, you have to be a bit discreet. You know, and I know that if you're not careful and you go and tell your story to the wrong person, it will become headline. It will become breaking news. So if you don't want your story to be breaking news, you as a person needs to be discreet. But don't hold it to yourself. That is where the danger is. You will prolong it, it will affect your health. Seek help, seek support, seek, talk to somebody. Yes, by all means pray. By all means eat well. By all means drink well. But speak to somebody, because sometimes you are just in a mud and you need someone, a lifting hand, a little push, someone just to kind of help you on your way,
somebody to break it down, and look at it with a different eye, and then take you out of that mud.
Definitely.
We've got some comments from Facebook.
Okay.
Benedicito says, excellent topic. Ruth Tiso, excellent topic. Very true. Thank you to your encouraging comments from Facebook. This is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station. You are listening to the Family Enrichment program, and with me in the studio is Auntie Regina. We are waiting to hear from you, your contributions, your experiences. This is a platform for the family where we talk all things family and encourage each other. The number to call is 0208 133 2257 or 0208 133 2258. To call from US or Canada is 001 718 303 2737. Text or WhatsApp is on 075 3966 1744. And we are discussing stress, worry, and anxiety, which we said it affects all ages, all people of different colors. It's not meant for one group. We all experience it in different ways, but it's how you deal with it, the support that you can get, the perception you put on things, and in the courses, management, we've been talking about all that, the different types of stresses, internal, external, acute, chronic, positive, negative stress. And we've touched on some of the ways that you can manage stress, not to hold it to yourself, but find somebody you can trust to share what you are going through, so that they can give you a helping hand or give you advice, point you in the right direction, so that you don't suffer in silence. Because stress itself is not deemed as an illness, but prolonged stress can lead to serious illnesses.
That's right.
And it's thought to be one of the high contributing factor to serious illnesses, because your body, when you're going through stress, your body releases certain chemicals that can affect your heartbeat, your blood pressure,
your organs,
your
liver, your kidney, especially the kidneys.
When
it affects the kidneys, yes, it really can be damaging.
Yeah,
really damaging.
So we need to take on board when we are stressed, to make an effort to seek help. And it stresses that don't suffer in silence, and don't isolate yourself, because when you do that, the problem or the stress becomes compounded, and it's like being in muddy waters and you can't find your way out of it. There is help out there, lots of help out there. There are lots of people that you can talk to. First of all, you can go and talk to your GP, and then he or she will signpost you to resources in the community. And if you belong to a church, talk to your church family. And we are encouraging that when people come, we find practical solutions and not just prayer. Okay. Do I sound like I'm preaching here?
No, you are not preaching. You are not preaching. You are doing very well. You are summarizing it very well. You are summarizing it and it is important. It's important.
Yes.
We want practical solutions to our problems, to our stresses.
This is Starr Radio.
Yeah,
UK.
your chair's gone down a bit. Okay.
Okay. Let's look at some of the. We have talked about some of the ways of managing stress. Some say you should exercise, because when you are stressed, you become demotivated. And I was struggling with that. If you are stressed and you are demotivated, how will you motivate yourself to go and exercise, even when you are feeling okay in yourself? It's hard enough to get up and exercise. So let alone when you are in this state.
Because what happens is when you exercise, again your body releases certain chemicals. So that exercise, the chemicals that gets released when you're exercising, it counteracts the negative chemicals, or the chemicals that can become negative in the body when it's released during stress. Because when your body is releasing adrenaline, you can, as we were saying, you can use it in a positive way or you can use it in a negative way. And that is a problem. But when you exercise, your body feels happy. The muscles, actually, they say when you are exercising, your muscles are being expanded, and you are getting more oxygen into the system. And when you're getting more oxygen into the system, you're breathing better already. Your organs are functioning better already. Your mind is already feeling good. You yourself, you're already feeling good. And the moment you start feeling good, you are counteracting all the bad negative. So the demotivation now gradually turns to motivation, because you become motivated. So that is why exercise is good at all times. But it's even very good, especially when you are unwell. If that's why the doctors, even when you're unwell, the doctors will tell you don't stay in bed. Get up and move about, walk a bit, fresh air, this, that. So exercise is one of the best ways. It helps. You see, when you are stressing, you are worrying, isn't it? It's a worrying. It's a tension on your mind. So when you direct that tension to another focus, or you flip a page and bring a new focus in. So you were worrying about your finances. Okay, now I'm worrying about my weight. Okay, what am I going to do? I'm going to exercise. I know I can do something with my weight. I can exercise and change my weight, reduce weight or increase weight or whatever. So you've changed the dynamics there. You've taken control. So now you're not going to worry about your money problems anymore, because what is worrying going to do? Nothing. But you can control the aspect of the weight. If it's with your children, you can control, find solutions to the issues that is going on.
And exercising doesn't have to be strenuous.
No.
You can go for simple walks. Just move around. Do some housework. Well,
they say housework is a form of exercise, but I tend to, I'm controversial sometimes. I beg to differ. Housework cannot always be exercise, because certain housework is not exercise.
It can lift you up, especially if, because of the worrying,
it gives you a different focus.
Yes,
it takes your mind off things.
Yes, and maybe if you've let your house go, things in the house go, when you tidy up, it lifts you up. It's nice.
The environment, yes. So the end results will produce the desired results. Yes, that is important. This afternoon I was talking to a friend. A friend was sharing something, and she said something that I thought was a bit profound. And as I was coming to the studio, I was thinking about it. What she said was, as a young girl, her mother once told her, when you have issues, don't discuss it with anybody.
Okay.
The reason being is, if you discuss it with everybody, not everybody will give you the best advice. And often because you have problems, you tend to follow, quote unquote, the foolish advice that is given. So her mommy told her that when you have problems, don't discuss it with people. And she said that, and she said it in our phrase that, "Mema make actually bear the French. Mema make actually me say, oh, asemang kwasi afone tufo." And when she said that, I stopped and I said to myself, "What does that mean?" She said, "Oh, because the people that will give you the sound advice is not what you want to hear at the time." Because you have made up your mind and you are on a certain path. When people try to dissuade you from the path of destruction, you are not in a mood to listen. So the people that will hail you and encourage you and spur you on, they are the ones you are going to listen to. And those are the ones that are giving you the wrong advice. So that is why her mother gave her that advice. So I was thinking about it. Now, in this culture that we live in, your one room, everything is in there, your microwave, your fridge, everything is in that one room. Your bank account is there, your credit card bills are there, your household bills, everything is there. Everything is there. When you turn, you go around in circles, you're back to square one. Why wouldn't you speak to somebody for advice? Because without it, how are you going to know what you're doing wrong? What else can you do?
Your mind will be spinning and spinning.
Things may not always be, the way you want them to be, but with a little help from somebody. So it's important you get the right advice at the right time. Because if you don't get the right advice at the right time, it can lead to detrimental results as well. So I just want to share that with somebody.
And also you have to bear in mind the people that you surround yourself with. Not those who will tell you what you want to hear. But those who are bold enough to tell you the truth and critique you when you're going wrong. When you are okay and not in the worrying frame of mind. When you have that perception of those you are surrounded with, when you are stressed, when you are worried, when you are anxious, and they advise you, you know that they are coming from a good place and talking to you. But if you don't have that, when you have the clear focus, and then
when there's no stress.
Yes, when there's no stress. And then when the stress comes and they're telling you the good things, you won't listen.
Yeah.
That
So
is
when we
what
talk
our
about the
own
stress management aspect of things, you need to identify the resources that you can trust and depend on. Okay. Now you can trust your GP. Your GP cannot tell you something that is going to be detrimental. They may not always have the information at their fingertips, but they can signpost you for you to get. So you can trust your GP. There may be a family member, maybe your mother, your father. It's not always easy going to your mother to discuss your financial problems with. You may not want to do it, but if that is the only person you trust, please take the opportunity. Go and speak to your mom. Go and speak to your dad. Go and speak to that sister. Go and speak to that brother that you trust, that you know that I'm going through this. I'm in this trouble. Because sometimes when you were making that decision, you probably didn't inform anybody. But hey, it's here and you have to deal with it. You have to manage it. You have to find ways to overcome it. So speak to somebody, get the right source of help that will help you come out of that problem. Because you don't want this issue that is happening now to affect you for the rest of your life. You don't want that. And it can easily lead to that. But if you don't deal with it now, if you don't look for ways to manage it and address it now, then eventually it will lead to other factors. It will impede on other aspects of your health, especially your health. Because once you lose your health, whether you lose your mental health or your physical health, you are done, unfortunately, to an extent. Yes, there are systems there that can help you manage yourself when you are there. But you are not yourself anymore. You are not who you were anymore. Things have changed. And sometimes when things change, it's not always a positive change or for the better. So please, 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 if you are listening to us right now, worrying is not a good thing. Don't worry about anything. Yes, it is not easy. I'm not saying it happens like that. Drink more water if you have to. And get help. Yes.
We have a question from our Facebook listeners. Benedicido is asking, how do you help someone who is always complaining about stress and is still not ready to take things slow?
Oh dear. Thank you, Benediso, for your question. How do you help somebody who is always worrying, complaining
about stress? That every day I'm stressed.
Yeah.
And is still not ready to take things slow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know whether it's in relation to work, to family life.
Yeah. Okay, so okay, let's take the question as it is. Okay. They are complaining about being stressed, but they are not willing to slow down or make changes. So let's take it like that. If they are always complaining about being stressed, it means they are managing too much. They've got too much on their plate. To put it simple, they've got so much happening in their life, but then they are complaining about it. But they are not willing to listen to advice to slow down, to drop some of the baggages, to realign their focus and find. So such a person, I don't know how we can help the person. I honestly don't know how we are going to help the person. But what we can do is to find out from that package, whatever it is that they are doing, which ones they enjoy most. And maybe tune their mind to the ones they enjoy most. And let them, for themselves, see that, I haven't been to music lessons for a week. And I don't miss it. Maybe it's not necessary. So, do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So, maybe they like going to pictures. For example, they like to go to the cinema. Let them go to the cinema on the days that they would be going to music lessons. Tell them, no, let's go to cinema today. So you redirect their attention. So you take them to the cinema instead of the music lesson. So a month has gone down the road, they've not had a music lesson, and they haven't missed it.
So to make a list of the things
that they are juggling with
and prioritize.
Prioritize them.
Okay.
Prioritize them. Give them the options of repeating the ones they enjoy more and more, so that the ones that they haven't done for a while, you know what I like, and I know what you like. So as a friend, I can then encourage you to do what you like the more.
Yeah.
By helping you to actually do it. Sometimes that's the way you can help people. You yourself have to get involved. Drop what you are doing and become part of the solution.
Okay.
So you become part.
Benedicido is saying it's in relation to work and family.
Oh dear.
Work and
Okay.
family.
Work and family.
Yeah.
Two very important aspects of life.
Yes.
Family is very important. This is the family enrichment program, by the way.
So you brought your question to the right platform.
That's right. So yes, okay. It's in relation to family and work. Okay.
And work. Are you taking on too much? Because sometimes we like saying yes when we are being. I don't know if your boss or whatever work you do, whether you are the boss taking on too much, or you are the recipient of work being given and you are not able
My husband always says I don't own the NHS.
Yeah.
My father don't own the NHS. My mommy don't own the NHS. When my time is done, it's done. I should leave you.
Yeah, and also if you're being given more work, you should maybe in supervision or when you talk to your manager or whoever, to say that you've got a lot on at the moment and maybe give you some time scales before you can accept more work. I don't know the nature of the work that you're talking
person is doing.
Yeah.
I think looking at this, Auntie Lottie, looking at this question and thinking things through, I think we need to help this person to become a bit more assertive. To be able to assert themselves in certain areas. Okay. Now, if it's to do with work, and they, for example, I do it as well. Sometimes I spend 2 hours at work after my allocated hour because of my position, and I feel I need to be there to do something. And as I've just said, people will tell me that no, you know, you don't own the NHS. So you need to find a way to manage it.
Yeah.
So if this person is not that assertive, they are asking, and you know that that is what they are lacking. It's not about helping them to manage the complaining. Help them to become assertive. So maybe you can take them to skills class, you know, life coach skills class, where they teach people to become assertive, where they teach people. We got courses like that where they teach people to know their boundaries. Okay. When they bring self-awareness, some people are not aware of who they are, their limitations, their strengths, their weaknesses. They are not because they don't know. Or the other side is they know it so much that they've now they've lost sight of it. Okay. So you know, everything we have the extreme and then we have none. And if the person is at a none position, it's a difficult, it's a challenge. That one you can easily help them to come to a certain level. But when they are the extreme, they've gone overboard. So they know they know their strength, they know their weaknesses, but they don't manage it. That is a challenge. That is a problem. Then you have to retrain them and bring them back again. But if the person is lacking and they are at the bottom and they don't have at all, then it's an opportunity for you to direct them to some life coach classes that will help them. And sometimes people will find it offensive when you tell them they are not assertive enough. They can become offended. But if you find a nice way of putting it and directing them, I'm sure they will thank you for it. And when it comes to the family aspect, well, I'm not sure what I can say about that. But you know, if you can, don't bite more than you can chew.
And communicate.
Yeah, let people know.
Yeah.
I think this person may need help with some kind of assertiveness in their life, because whatever it is, the family needs to know that they also need time for themselves, and they don't need to put too much pressure on this person. It's not good for them.
And let them know your limitations as well.
Yes.
Learn
to say no.
What you can do in the family and what you can't do.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm sure that if you make it clear, if you are honest about things, they will support you.
Yeah. Maybe they can start saying no. Tell your friend, and bending diesel, tell your friend or your colleague to start saying no. Have you tried saying no before? Just ask them that question often. Have you tried saying no before? Did you say no? Don't say what did you say? No.
Yeah.
As soon as they tell you what it is, just say, did you say no? Did you say no? Did you say no? The more you keep dropping that hint to the person, you are life coaching them. You are changing their habits for them.
I hope we've helped answer your question.
Yes.
And thank you for that. And thank you for your comments as well. Okay. It's gone past our time.
Okay.
So, yeah. Shall we quickly summarize what we've been talking about so much? Some of the strategies, especially because we've talked a lot about the meaning of stress, the causes. Let's end with the strategies that people need to bear in mind when they are going through stress. Some of the little things that they can do, because we know that when prolonged stress can lead to illnesses, can lead to depression, and we don't want people to go down that route if it can't be helped. So in summary, what are some of the strategies that people need to bear in mind?
Well, I think we've talked a lot also about these strategies in a way, but to continue along that, it's how you see what it is see it for what it is. What it is, it is. Okay. Identify
what is stressing you.
What is stressing you? What is it? What is causing it? And then the moment you identify the problem, you've already solved it, or you've started solving it.
Yeah.
But if you don't know what the problem is, you don't have a solution.
Yes.
You are still at sea. You don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But the moment you identify, so know what it is. So step back a bit. Take a step back. Okay? And please, don't think you are the only person that is going through this at this time. You are not the only person going through it. It's happening all over the place. If it's divorce, if it's
life.
Physical health, if it's separation, if it's
Children.
death, if it's loss, whatever it is, you are not the first person, and you certainly won't be the last person, unfortunately. So know that. That is the reality of things. Step back. Okay. Now, if it's financial issues, start from the bottom. Do the little things before you start doing the big thing, because you don't want to be discouraged along the line. That is one thing that can stop you in your tracks. You try to tackle the big thing, and then you can't manage it. It will stop you in your tracks. Do the little things. Do the housework. Tidy around the house. It's easier than going out for a walk. Clean the house or going to the gym. So clean the house. Change your bed sheets. Change the color. You know, you are always using blue. Start using red. Make little changes. That can help. Then you see that, that is bringing satisfaction. You see you are achieving something. It gives you a sense of control. So the sense of control is one of the strategies that you can manage your stresses. So you enter into that mode of sense of control. So what is it that I'm doing that is working? It gives you, so you achieve one, then before you know it, you're at number 5. Before you know it, you are progressing. It becomes second nature. That is no more stress. Something else you're going to find to deal with. So your sense of control is very important. Your attitude towards that stress also is important. Your attitude. Is this thing going to kill me? Some of us, we go to the fright mode. The moment stress hits us, we go into the fright mode. We don't go into the fight mode. So when you go into the fright mode, that then can lead to chronic, it can lead to prolong, it can become another issue. So it takes you downhill instead of uphill. So your attitude, think about it. Okay, I'm not the only one. Find a way. If you have nothing to do, look in the mirror and say, I'm a good person. That cheer yourself up.
I can do it.
I can do it. That is a good
positive attitude.
That is a good strategy. It will help you. Your social network. We've talked about that also. It's one of the strategies that you cannot do without in life. It's a very, if you don't have a good social network in place now, fine. Wipe the slate clean. Delete everybody's number and start looking for new ones that are going to be useful. Don't hang around with the ones that haven't helped you in the last 20 years. Delete their numbers and move on. Such is life.
Take stock of your friends. That's what you're saying.
Stock exchange. Take stock of your friends. Go to the stock exchange. Lose some. Buy new ones. And replace some of them. Simple. Honestly. Some of them are excess baggage. They are not helping. But if you don't have any at all, some people don't have. They don't have anybody to share their problems or air their problems with at all in life. That is also not good. You have to be, in the middle somewhere. Have somebody. You don't need a crowd, but you need somebody.
You need somebody.
So find somebody. That is another. Eat well, drink well, sleep well, live well, and stress will not be part of your life.
Thank you for that, Auntie Regina. Thank you to our listeners. And as I said at the beginning of the program, there are so many different topics that we've done under family enrichment, and they can all be found on our podcasts. So if you've missed any, or if you've just started following us, listening to us, and you want to know what we've done in the past.
Yes.
We started this program last year, and we've done lots of topics. That's why sometimes when we are busy doing face-to-face work in the community, we repeat some of the previous topics so that people can capture and become abreast with what we've done in the past. So go to the podcast and listen to some of these topics. And we thank you once again for listening and contributing to this program. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and so we'll come your way next time.
Stay blessed. For listening. Thank you.
Bye.
This God we serve, He never
Thanks for listening.